Parents, friends, and other loved ones who might be sitting beside a member of the graduating class of 2021 watching this video. It's a real honor to get the chance to make this video today in recognition and celebration of this momentous occasion in your lives. I'm Professor Serena Chen, a social personality psychologist and the current chair of the psychology department. Let me go ahead and state from the outset the obvious. This past year, your final year here at our beloved institution, UC Berkeley, has been challenging in countless ways. There's the physical, mental, social, and financial challenges brought on by the ongoing pandemic, and for too many of us, enormous grief and loss. Last fall and continuing on into the first several months of this year, we experienced a presidential race that was unprecedented in so many troubling ways, not least of which in the January 6th violent storming of the Capitol building in DC in protest of the election results. This past year, we saw the reignition of the Black Lives Matter movement on the heels of the George Floyd murder last May, leading to what we all hope is sustained confrontation of and action against the too long-standing systemic racism in our society. Over the past year, we've seen a sharp jump in racist violence against Asian Americans and Pacific Islanders. All the while, most of us have been living lives deprived of the face-to-face time, the hugs, the high fives, the snuggling that are such fundamental ingrained parts of who we are as social beings. It's been a rough year. And yet here we are, here you are, all 260-something undergraduates who are graduating this spring, and the 20-something graduate students receiving their PhDs. Here you are, having navigated your way through these unprecedented times, not just taking on one challenge after another, but adding on top of that one accomplishment after another. Let's just take a moment to pause and reflect on your collective accomplishments and how you've managed to forge a meaningful education for yourselves and perhaps your classmates, both inside and outside of the classroom. We had to move to virtual instruction and learning and stay there far longer than we originally anticipated. This challenged us all to connect and to think and to take in new knowledge in new ways. Yes, we all are now more than familiar with what Zoom fatigue is, but we also added to our repertoire of tools for learning and teaching. Research didn't grind to a halt. We innovated. We came up with creative and safe ways to keep doing our science, despite shelter in place and other pandemic barriers. Tiered mentorship was stronger than ever, with graduate students mentoring undergraduates during their honors thesis and other independent research projects. We have as many honor students this year as we did last year, all completing their projects in virtual space. Undergraduates were undeterred from creating their own classes. We had 3 brand new decal classes created during this remote learning period. Ironically, these folks will, come this fall, have the challenge of figuring out how to move their instruction to the in-person classroom. We had transfer students jump into Cal, some without stepping foot on campus or just having a few months here on campus. Yet each and every one of them has grown intellectually and should walk away proud to have earned their Cal degree. The dissertation phase of one's graduate career requires great perseverance in the best of times. Despite all the challenges and uncertainties in the air, our PhD students pressed on with their dissertations, not letting the pandemic get in the way of scientific discovery, and they went on into the triumphant final lap of their dissertation write-ups. And the list goes on. This list is, in a word, inspiring. Graduating class of 2021, you are truly an inspiration to all. You should be deeply proud of your accomplishments, and all the more so given the many barriers you climbed along the way. Though much remains uncertain, it's abundantly clear to me from your resilience, your hard work, your achievements, that your futures are bright. We have no doubt you will continue to make our department and community proud in the coming years. Please stay in touch. The doors to Berkeley Way West will always be open to you. And of course, last but not least, go Bears.